Okay, so this is my first spoken video to tell you a little bit about the superhero game that I've been working on for a little while. This is a new engine where you can pick male or female hero, so you can select it from your files where you create the character. Load that in, and now you can see she throws off her clothes. Her jacket is covering up her identity. You can switch back into secret identity to basically hide your character from enemies. It's really hard in a lot of these superhero games to use a secret identity. What do you use it for? What's the purpose? So I thought that it'd be neat to be able to like conceal yourself from enemies that are looking for your character. It's gonna be like dressed up in like bright colored clothing and exhibiting superpowers. So you still have your name of your character over top, but as you can see, you can like run past the bad guys. They randomly will select to attack you, chase you. This is interesting. All these characters have to figure out a nested loop to get all these characters to be in the game, in the sandbox, because you want a game where like it's a sandbox free roam, so you want the characters to be able to respawn and happen at different points in the game. So this was hard to do. This took me like at least a week to figure out, because there's programming. There's always some way to you have to figure out how to work around the problem. A lot of the traditional ways didn't work. So in order to get the computer to generate infinity enemies, for as long as you want to play the game, I had to figure out a way to activate the enemies, have the computer build them, and then have the characters be able to independently function and be destroyed, and then have the computer be able to regenerate them and give them their own AI again. So you can see how complicated that is. I'm going to attack. These guys are really tough. Some of the characters are aggressive, so you can see you can freeze them in their tracks with your superpowers and stuff. That gives you a chance to either get away or try to finish them off. But depending on your character, when they're new, they're weak. So their power kind of it lasts for a little while, but you burn it up real quick. So you have to like build your character up with experience to make their powers last a lot longer. So she has ice powers, so she can freeze enemies, and they respawn. They see you. Eventually, I want you to be able to like run around through an entire city and just have random events. Walk into a store and have some thugs holding it up, and your character could just bust out and take them out. The fun of it is you just keep building up your character stronger and stronger. I want to get like more enemies popping up that are stronger, so you can end up maybe fighting a super villain that's equal to your character's strength. As you can see, you can run around. You get a lot of different powers: flight, super speed, super strength, and there's NPCs, NPC cops. If you attack them, they attack you. So you can freeze them. The enemies will have memory of when you attack them. So if you attack them, then as long as you don't knock them out or something, they'll get up and know that you attacked them, so they'll still be on you. These thugs are pretty aggressive. They have a long vision range and they're aggressive. So you can see they all have health bars that shows their name. What I really wanted to do, what I figured out, was to get them to respawn. So you could essentially just sit there and just keep playing the game, and the game will keep respawning enemies. Just keep on respawning them forever, and so you could just grind your character like that. Or you could like go on like missions that give you better experience. They're tougher though. You have to be careful because your character has permadeath. So once they die, you got to start a new character. So if you're like, let's say you're like level 50 and you take on something that's too strong, or you get aggro too many, and you get taken out, you got to make a new character. They're dead. They're gone out of the game. So that's pretty neat. That gives you a reason to not make any mistakes or really try hard to survive. That's the thing now, So as you can see, once you get out of their visual range, they stop attacking. I want you to be able to like go around the corner and lose them, or Pick him back up. The guy that's frozen is not supposed to be moving. That's still bugs you got to work out with any game. You got to keep tweaking it and programming it, figure out what works and what needs to be polished up. The cops, they look at you. If you do something like pull out a gun, they'll attack you, try to arrest you. They're supposed to attack the enemies, the bad guys, once they see a crime being committed. So I'm still working that out. I had them working before, but I turned that off to work on getting the enemies to respawn. So the major thing was getting all these characters to respawn, to keep respawning in the game. So that's basically the game engine with the characters. Getting them to respawn was a major point. That was like a major milestone, a major goal that had to be in the game. You want something this. If you want a sandbox, you want it to be random. So that was a big thing. That was hard to figure out. That took at least a week if you count up all the times, all the hours that went into trying to figure it out. A lot of testing, a lot of recoding, removing, things, trying different things. It was a pain, a real pain. Some of these games out there this is just a 2D, 2D side-scrolling type game. It's really nothing compared to like Call of Duty, But I mean, if you can imagine some of those professional games that have a lot of crazy AI and a lot of different magical things happening there. You can imagine what those guys have to go through to try to get that to work and get it to run. So it's not easy trying to work that code out so it runs, doesn't crash. It's really not easy. So once this game is coming along, this is the new engine. I've got another game out that's similar to this, but it's top down. But there's a lot of things that I was able to do with this, which I wanted to always do, which is pretty neat. She doesn't have it, but you can pick chest emblems now for your characters. So you can put like their icon on their chest, lightning, a shield or whatever, star, snowflake or whatever. That's pretty neat. That'll show up. I didn't make her with any of that. I just gave her a plain outfit, with a mask. But you can get a cape, have a female, male, no mask, different color skin tone, which is pretty neat. And just run around and be a superhero, randomly, no online play, all offline. All the games are online, and you got like, who wants to play with like 100 superheroes? That's not really the way it works in the comic books. There's one or two guys that have these special powers that help everybody else that's weaker. That's the way it's supposed to be. So hopefully, I've pretty much got the major problem. Like this guy chasing me, 1 out of 1,000 different enemies that can come after you now because the coding is in there. So he chases you. He's won. He's on you. There are other enemies right now in the world. They're not active. So that was a big thing, getting the computer to create these guys. And I can't tell you how tough that was to get that to work. That was definitely a shot time. Take a shot of whiskey or something to congratulate yourself on figuring that out, because that was a royal pain. I can tell you. Okay, so back to work on it.